Somewhere along the way, we all picked up a set of invisible instructions about how we're supposed to dress past a certain point. Keep things quiet, stay neutral, don't draw too much attention. And the strange part is, most of us never agreed to any of it. We just gradually stopped reaching for the pieces that made us feel something and started reaching for the ones that made us disappear. Think about the last time you passed over something you actually loved in favor of something safe. You grabbed the muted top instead of the vibrant one, not because it looked better, but because it felt less risky. You told yourself it was refined. But somewhere underneath all of that, there's still a woman who remembers what it felt like to get dressed and feel genuinely excited. And what's fascinating is that the women who truly command a room, they abandoned those invisible instructions a long time ago. One woman has made that fearlessness into an art form. Grece Ghanem lives in Montreal, started sharing outfit photos on Instagram just for fun with her daughter, and has since built a following of over 2 million people. She's in her 60s with the most striking silver hair you've ever seen, and she wears bold color and daring prints in a way that has women decades younger asking for her secrets. And when you hear how she approaches something as ordinary as a pair of jeans, honestly, that one completely shifted my perspective. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Parker Holloway, and today we're exploring a woman who is living proof that personal style doesn't dim with age, it gets sharper. Grece Ghanem has created a whole philosophy around remaining visible and dressing on purpose, and I believe what she's figured out is going to resonate with so many of you. So let's dive in. Number 1, she uses color as an emotional tool, rather than something to be afraid of. This is probably the very first thing that hits you when you discover Grece, and it's what immediately separates her from the crowd. While most women past 50 begin gravitating toward black and gray and safe neutrals, Grece leans hard in the other direction. She gravitates toward green because she says nature inspires her and gives her strength. She combines red with soft shades of green because she intuitively understands how complementary tones create visual energy. She blends rich, saturated hues in combinations you'd never think would land, but somehow they always do. And the secret is that she's not wearing color just to stand out, she's picking shades that mirror her emotional state on any given day. She's called her method mood-driven, and what I find so compelling about that is it transforms color from something intimidating into something intimate. So if bold tones have felt like too much for you, here's my suggestion. Begin with one piece, a bright scarf, a bag in an unexpected shade, shoes that make you grin when you look down. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight, but once you invite color back into your routine, it genuinely shifts your energy. And that shift is really everything. Now, her approach to mixing prints is even bolder, and I'll get into that shortly. But first, there's something she does with silhouette that deserves attention. Number 2, she has mastered the art of playing with proportion. Grece has spoken about her love for pieces that define her waist, and she's drawn to strong shoulder lines and architectural shapes. But here's what matters. She's not consulting some chart about what body types should wear what. She's choosing based on how she wants an outfit to land on her frame. So many women fall into the trap of dressing according to rules about which cuts flatter which figures, and those guidelines can box you in. Grece doesn't pay attention to any of it. She pairs volume with structure. She'll put wide-leg trousers beneath a fitted knit, or layer a generous trench over something streamlined. And what you get is this beautiful equilibrium in every outfit that never looks like she overthought it. People describe her style as effortless over and over, and I think that's because she's balancing opposites so well. The takeaway is that proportion has nothing to do with concealing parts of yourself. It's about building a silhouette that feels deliberate. If you tend to dress in one register, everything relaxed or everything structured, experiment with pairing one from each camp. That push and pull is where outfits really come alive. Number 3. She combines prints in a way that breaks every conventional rule, and it's extraordinary. This is the one I mentioned at the top, and it's one of the things I admire most about how Grece puts herself together. She'll wear animal print alongside checks. She pairs graphic patterns with saturated color. She stacks prints in combinations that any style guide would flag as a clash. And yet, the whole thing looks completely organic. The explanation is simpler than you'd expect. Grece ties her prints together through a shared color thread. So even when she's wearing 2 or 3 competing patterns, there's a unifying palette palette running through all of them. She's also incredibly smart about mixing the scale, one oversized dramatic print next to one quieter, more delicate one. That creates movement without tipping into confusion. Most of us would never dare try this because we've internalized the idea that mixing patterns is a mistake, but Grece is walking evidence that those boundaries exist to be challenged. If going all in on print mixing feels like too big a leap right now, that's perfectly okay. Try layering a patterned scarf with a differently patterned top, or patterned shoes with a printed skirt. Just make sure they share a color and you'll be surprised how pulled together it feels. Now, everything we've covered up to this point, with enough patience, most women could get there on their own. But the next few lessons are on a different level. These dig into the deeper philosophy behind how Grece has shaped her entire approach to style, and they're the ones that fundamentally shifted how I see my own wardrobe. Number 4, she holds on to what she loves and rejects the constant cycle of replacing things. This one hit me on a personal level. Grece still owns clothing from her days as a student in Beirut back in the early 80s. She doesn't discard pieces simply because a new season has arrived. She holds on to things that carry meaning and wears them over and over. If you scroll through her Instagram, you'll spot the same cherished items surfacing repeatedly. A favorite jacket styled in a fresh way, jeans she's owned for decades. That runs completely counter to what most of us have been taught. We've absorbed this belief that repeating an outfit is some kind of shortcoming, or that staying relevant requires a wardrobe refresh every few months. Grece demonstrates the exact opposite. The best-dressed women aren't endlessly accumulating, they're endlessly reinventing what's already in their closet. I find that incredibly liberating because it gives you permission to invest in fewer high-quality pieces you truly connect with. If there's something in your wardrobe right now that you love but haven't reached for because it feels outdated, take it out. Pair it with something new. Breathe fresh life into it. That's the Grece approach, through and through. Number 5, she embraced her silver hair long before it became fashionable and turned it into her signature. On the surface, this looks like a conversation about hair, but it goes much deeper. Grece began going gray when she was still quite young, and she made a deliberate choice to let it happen naturally. People around her pushed back. They said she was too young for gray hair, that it would make her look older. But she stayed the course, and today her gorgeous silver bob is one of the most instantly recognizable looks in fashion. What strikes me is that she wasn't chasing a trend. She didn't notice silver hair gaining popularity and decide to get on board. She did it purely because it felt honest to who she is. She said her hair has become part of her identity, and I think that's one of the most powerful things you can say about any style choice. It's proof that the decisions with the most lasting impact aren't about keeping up, they're about staying true. And when you see Grece wearing vivid color against that beautiful silver hair, the contrast is absolutely stunning. Her hair functions as part of her entire color story. For anyone considering going natural with your gray but feeling uncertain, Grece is the most convincing evidence that it can become your most distinctive feature. You don't need to rush the process. Plenty of women ease into it over time, but understand this isn't about losing something, it's about owning something that belongs to you. Number 6, she sees the act of getting dressed each morning as a way of refusing to become invisible. This is the one that stops me in my tracks, and it sits at the core of everything Grece represents. She's been open about the reality that once women reach a certain age, the world simply stops noticing them. They fade into the background, and every outfit Grece puts on is her answer to that. She stated plainly that women should stay visible and continue taking risks regardless of age. She doesn't dress boldly because she wants eyes on her. She dresses boldly because she believes she deserves to occupy space in the world. And that difference is everything. This isn't about ego. This isn't about chasing youth. This is about a woman who left her homeland, started over in an unfamiliar city, rebuilt her career from the ground up, and chose at every chapter of her life to present herself as the most complete version of who she is. When Grece gets dressed each morning, it's not routine,
It's a statement. She's telling the world, I'm still here, I still matter, and I refuse to vanish. I believe that's a feeling every one of us is entitled to. Whether you're meeting a friend for a quiet lunch or stepping into a crowded room where you don't know a soul, you deserve to feel fully present. You deserve to feel like the truest version of yourself. And sometimes all it takes is choosing the outfit that makes you walk taller rather than the one designed to help you go unnoticed. That woman who enters a room draped in bold color with silver hair and a steady self-assurance that doesn't ask for anyone's approval, she's not wearing more than you are. She simply knows exactly who she is, and she lets that show without hesitation. So here's what I want you to think about. What if tomorrow morning you stopped second-guessing yourself and just put on the thing that makes you feel most alive? And on the topic of women who've developed remarkable approaches to style in the second half of life, next week I'm sharing someone whose philosophy on accessories is going to completely reshape how you think about pulling a look together. Trust me, you'll want to be here for that. All right, everyone, that is all I have for Grece Ghanem's style lessons. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe even a little inspiring. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's one style risk you've been circling around but haven't taken the leap on yet? Let me know because I genuinely read every single one. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Parker Holloway Style. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.